News 3 has learned that 3 Wisconsin banks are using taxpayer money to pay back more taxpayer money.
But the banks say it is justified. It's your money, and only News 3's Theo Keith is looking at how area banks are using it. Theo?
Sarah, Eric, we're talking about TARP, the Troubled Asset Relief Program. The government started it in fall 2008 as the economy collapsed, and it eventually lent $2.6 billion to help Wisconsin banks through tough times. And while some are finding ways to pay it back, one local bank is struggling to do the same. Of the 21 Wisconsin banks taking TARP money, only 6 have paid it back. 3 of them, including the Bank of Deerfield, using a second government fund meant for small business lending to do so.
We were looking at paying it off regardless of whether or not we received small business lending funds, and had the ability to do so.
Just like the TARP money, the new dollars come with strings attached for the small community bank.
And to get that funding, we had to provide a business plan in terms of how we were going to utilize that money to increase business lending within our communities.
Well, they are on the hook to do so.
UW finance professor Ken Kavietes says what the 3 banks are doing makes sense because the small business lending fund money comes with better incentives than the tough TARP oversight.
I can't pay my executives. I have a lot of oversight on what I'm doing now my objective is really to lend to small businesses, which we know is the most dynamic part of the labor market.
But 15 Wisconsin banks still hold TARP money, including Park and Anchor banks in Madison. For Anchor, the payoff won't come soon. Anchor Bancorp's executive vice president telling News 3 the company has missed 10 required payments to the government. Kavietes says as a consequence, the government could name people to the company's board.
There are repercussions. They are stark. They are important. And so I think if a bank can avoid those, they will.
Now, the reason Anchor hasn't made those payments is that the government has ordered it not to instead improve its books and fix its lending practices. As for Park Bank, its CEO tells us in a statement his company is sticking to its 5-year repayment plan, and neither Anchor nor Park will participate in the Small Business Lending Fund as a way to pay TARP back.
All right, Theo, in our News Center night. Theo, thank you.